Hey y'all, Big Tom here on Cattails, our World Cat 280 DCX. And boy, we got a good one for you today. We're going for a boat ride. Yeah, so today is Friday, January 30th. And boy, beautiful day here in Southwest Florida. It's about 65 degrees. Blue sky, light winds, just a nice cool day. And we're going to take the boat out. Haven't had it out since I got it back from service, which was a week ago. Had a little bit of a cold spell, and boy, today's a great day to go out. Once again, January 30th, but boy, it's going to get ugly tomorrow. So we have a huge front coming through tomorrow. Big winds. Weather forecast is 30 to 40 knot winds out of the northwest. There's a gale warning in effect. Seas will be about 6 to 10 foot. And then Saturday night, they're predicting seas to be 10 to 14, up to 18 feet. And this is from 0 to 20 miles offshore, Englewood to Tarpon Springs. So the sea is going to get real ugly. Personally, I'm not worried about it. I'm in a protected area, luckily. So cattails will be in safe quarters. But yeah, I want to get a boat ride in. Go take a ride down the ICW, I think, today. Gonna head out towards Englewood and maybe just cruise around the Stump Pass area. Take a look at some things, maybe take some nice video. And if everybody's stuck in the house with this bad weather, maybe you can sit in front of your tablets or TVs and watch some nice 4K video of Southwest Florida aboard Cattails, the World Cat 280 DCX. All right, we'll take a little ride around the Dockside restaurant. Some nice boats in this marina. It's got some nice condos. They have these manufactured homes here with beautiful waterfront docks, a lot of sailboats. right, so we're just south of the Venice High School, and off the ICW there's this little neighborhood called Country Club Estates. And what it is, it's a manufactured home boating community, 55 plus, and they really have some nice dockage back here. Let's go take a look. It's like no boats. It looks like they have some repairs going on. Looks like they're putting new decking on the finger piers. Looks like they're putting in some new pilings. But this is a nice area back here. It's well protected too. Well, here's all the boats. Straight ahead looks like a clubhouse or something. Looks like a nice little neighborhood. All right, so we're just north of the Circus Bridge on the ICW here in Venice, the south side of Venice Island, and this is MarineMax. Let's go inside and take a look around. place is just loaded with boats, in the water, out of the water, all the way up to 41. Over here on the right side, you got the Freedom Boat Club. Up there on the right side, up higher, is the Old Salty Dog restaurant. Right here on the property with MarineMax Venice. One thing I don't use very often on this WorldCat 280 DCX is closing up this walk-through windshield. And there's a little door below it, and that really keeps the wind off. So, boy, 65 into a 30-mile-an-hour wind, it's a little chilly. But this windshield being able to close makes it a lot more comfortable. So as you just saw, we just passed underneath the Circus Bridge on the south part of Venice Island near the Venice Airport. So we're continuing our trip down south, the ICW. Our next slow zone is going to be the South Venice Ferry, which runs over to Casperson Beach from South Venice. So we're going to cruise up until then. And hey, just wanted to mention that if you're enjoying the trips that I videotape here, why don't you scan the code and subscribe? That way you could catch every new video that comes out. Would appreciate it. Anyway, let's continue on with our ride. Got a nice cruise today. As you can see, we're 4,100 RPM on the engines. Speed is at 30 miles an hour. We're burning 16 gallons an hour at 1.9 mile per gallon. So our burn rate's pretty good today with the cooler weather. I definitely notice a difference in fuel efficiency with the cooler weather, lower humidity, compared to the summertime when it's super hot. The engines don't run as efficient. So we're over here down by Shamrock Park, over by the Lowe's. We can see that the ICW channel right here is running at about 10 feet deep. Water temperature is a cool 59 degrees. I'm sure it's going to drop a lot more after this weekend. South Venice Beach Ferry, and I think I read that it's out of service here for the next few weeks. But this is a no-wake zone here on the ICW between the Circus Bridge and Minnesota Beach Road Bridge. Gorgeous day. Calm before the storm. Alright, so we're coming up to the Englewood Beach Road Bridge, aka the Tom Adams Bridge. A lot of people fish this bridge in these pilings. Lots of sheep's head, small mangrove snapper, some snook. In fact, sometimes at night time and when the tarpon are around, the tarpon hang out here. A lot of people fish it. Alright, so at this point the ICW continues south, but we're going to cut over here to the right and go down Stump Pass State Park area, ski alley, and some of the restaurants down by the Englewood beach. So we'll take a look at what's down over there. So this will give you a little bit of idea where we're at. So this is the ICW here heading south, and then just south of that Beach Road Bridge, or Tom Adams Bridge, it cuts over to the right. So that's where these condos are. There's an anchorage here for sailboats. So it runs all the way up to this area here is where all the restaurants are by Englewood Beach. And then this is Ski Alley over here. So what we're going to do is take a look at that. Take a look at that Milton Pass that opened up since Hurricane Milton. And then obviously up here is the Gulf of Mexico. Just cruising along at 1300 RPMs here. We're making almost 6 miles an hour. And we got a nice fuel burn at 2 gallons an hour. Wish I could do that at speed. So the white building up ahead is the White Elephant. It's a restaurant. They have a little bit of dockage, maybe 6-8 boats. I'm just going to turn around here. So just a couple hundred yards east of the White Elephant, nice little restaurant right here called the Beachcomber Trading Post. And they have a really good breakfast. Looks like there's a lot of people there right now. Someone might even be up on the stage. So these houses here are on the far south side of Englewood Beach. It's about where all the housing ends, and that's where the entrance to the Stump Pass Beach State Park is. And this is the beginning of Ski Alley, so we'll take a ride down here. Beautiful day out here, Southwest Florida. Seeing quite a few boats on the water. I don't think there'll be anybody on the water tomorrow. Try to get the rides in before the storm, just like me. Beautiful clouds. This is only 1 foot. I don't know where the deep side is. Oh boy, I got some bad news to report. I'm a defeated man. I tried to get through Ski Alley at the Milton Pass, and I couldn't find a deep enough spot. I was in like a foot of water, which this boat can't do. I followed 2 boats through, or tried to follow them through, a lot smaller boats, and they're barely making it through. I can't believe it's so shallow. I mean, the tide isn't extremely low. It's rising, so I got that in my favor if I got stuck. But I'm going to give it one more chance here. But golly, it is just shallow. There's trees in here. I'm going to give it one more go. So I can't let it win. All right. I'm going to regroup here and give it a go. All right, we're gonna give it a go. That boat just came through with their, I think it'd probably float in a puddle of pee. Golly. So I have a chart I'm looking at. I also have Navionics on my phone. The boat's showing 1.5 feet deep. 1.8. So the boats I saw coming through here were just on the left side of this tree. .6, 1.4. .7. Gosh, I could see trees underwater. I could see a ledge of sand. I think this might be the ticket right here. Man, that's shallow.
Yeah, a little shallow through here. So they fill in the pass, it's going to get worse and worse.
Yep. All right. Made it. Made it, made it. Boy, that's shallow. Now we're 3 feet. All right, we did it. All right, coming in Stump Pass Marina. A lot of people. Place is packed. Seems like they added another bar out here on the point. Looks like the Freedom Boat Club's taken over here. It's crazy busy. All right, let's head back. Out of Stump Pass, we're in the Gulf, and we're going to head home to Venice. We got a 16-mile ride, and we should be there probably in about 30 minutes. So I don't think we'll see a whole lot of boats out here. Alright, that was a nice ride. Made it back in. Venice Inlet. South Jetty is still just the way as it was a year and a half ago. No boats at the Crow's Nest. It's the first time I've never saw a boat there. Would have thought Sail Venice would be there. I saw a sailboat out in the Gulf. Maybe that was Sail Venice. But it's empty. God. All right. Hey, we made it back. Back at the dock here. It's about 5:23. So I had a great trip down south. Along the way, made a couple stops. Cruised around Stump Pass for a little bit. Boy, were there some challenges over at that Milton Pass. It's shallow. It's tide was coming in, so it wasn't low, but man, there's just so much shoaling in that old ski alley. It's just amazing on how shallow it is. For a minute I thought I was gonna, for about a half hour I thought I was gonna have to give it up and not go through, but I gave it one more try and was able to find a spot that got me through. But boy, my depth readings were, down the, a foot. I guess I need to adjust that because the transducer does sit a little bit underwater. So it's given me the distance from the transducer to the bottom. So yeah, about a foot. You put your engines down. The engine's got a skeg. It's easy to hit the bottom. So, but we made it through. Stump Pass, the marina there was hopping. Boy, they must have done some construction and expanded their restaurant. There were a ton of people there. But yeah, then we made it out in the Gulf and headed north. Saw two boats on the way. It was a real enjoyable ride. The sun was out, 65-degree temps. Little chilly, but as I had mentioned earlier, I was able to close the walk-through windshield, and there's a little door underneath there, and that actually cuts the wind down for me as I'm driving here, and also for when we have passengers. So, but the trip overall was 40 miles. That was the round trip that we did today, and we burned exactly 20 gallons of fuel. So I was pretty happy with that fuel burn. The trip overall took about 4 hours. We made some stops along the way, lost some time getting stuck over at Milton Pass, but it was a great day. I'm really excited for tomorrow when this storm comes through. Boy, they're predicting some angry seas and a lot of wind, cold temperatures for Southwest Florida. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure during the storm I'll come out here to the boat and kind of take a look at things. I'm tied up really good here as is. I don't think I'm going to add anything, but I'll come out and check it out. I think we're going to probably get some surge. This weather system and the wind is coming from the northwest, and I'm looking on windy, and it seems like it's going to come down from like New Orleans bearing straight down towards us. So with that much wind blowing, I'm sure it's going to blow a lot of water with it. And I was looking at the tides for tomorrow, and I think tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, got a full moon coming up here in another day and a half. I think we're going to see a little bit of a surge here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, hey, thanks for coming along on this ride. I appreciate, the comments that y'all give and questions that you ask. I'm pretty responsive as far as getting back to you. If you're watching the channel and you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and hit the like button. But yeah, another great trip on the WorldCat out here in Southwest Florida. Once this weather breaks, I'm sure we'll get some better weather and we'll go out and do it again. Till then, peace.